It's fine.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
3, 2.
Well, hello, Nashville. Welcome back to another episode of the Nashville Fit Magazine podcast. I'm
Feel like
here
singing
with that
today?
intro today.
You want to sing
we
today,
are
huh?
feeling good today. My name is Sav. I'm happy to be here with y'all, and I'm here with my boy.
I am D. Jarrell, man. I love this so much.
take
Sav, what's
myself
going on, man?
You know, I said my boy, so we're doing great.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Life is good. No complaints.
Good.
How about you? It's a little chilly, but you know we're gonna make
A
it.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking cold.
I'm a tropical guy, so
I was gonna
don't
say,
like the
what's your favorite season?
summer. Give me 105.
1000%.
I can take my shirt off.
Yep, I'm with you
Walk
there.
around
No question.
any day.
Used to be a
weather
winter
than that.
person.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it was because of like discomfort in my body and the willingness to wear more clothes.
And now you like to walk
Now
around
I
naked.
hate wearing
Now
clothes.
he's like, I'm out here. I'm where I want to be. You guys are gonna get all of this,
less
right?
I have to wear clothing, the better, you know. And it shouldn't
Get
have anything
all
to do
this.
with what you are feeling about your body either. You know, if you
You
don't
don't
like
think
wearing
so?
clothes,
No?
no. I think if you don't want to wear that many clothes, you don't have to.
So you,
Even if you feel confident in your body and that's what you want to do, then you do you, boo.
so is everything for everybody?
Are we gonna really break that down?
I'm
right
just
now?
asking a question, Sav. You opened the door. I just walked in.
Yeah, no, I really can't think of a situation where I would like. I mean, if you're at like a gala or something, and you're supposed to be wearing like, you know, like a black tie event,
Yeah.
you know, maybe don't show up naked. You
Okay.
know, like maybe wear some clothes to that.
Okay.
But I'm just talking in general.
Outside of
like,
that.
yeah, like if we're talking about like fitness and we're getting into that like subject of body positivity and whether or not people should or should not wear clothes because they're a certain size, I don't speak to that in a way that like I never want to be somebody that's like, you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel confident in your body, who cares what anyone else thinks about your body and what you're wearing, what you're not wearing? That's your prerogative. And if somebody doesn't like it, they don't have to talk to you or be around you. Like, there's plenty of space in the world to walk away from something you don't want to see. That's how I feel.
I love it. I have a question for you.
What's up?
I just thought about it. I actually
You always put me on the spot, like right as we get.
I know, and we're gonna get to Kenzie here in a second. I promise.
Yeah, hi, Kenzie.
Hi,
Hey.
Kenzie. Welcome.
I was trying to find, you know, when you're
and
like in
feel
first
free-
grade and you
yeah,
don't know what to talk about.
Waiting for my
Hi.
waiting for my intro. No, this is Kenzie. Guys, she's gonna be with us, but I'm gonna put both of you guys on the spot because
Let's do
you own a studio, True Form.
Yes.
Dope merch,
You
I
are
can see.
Thank you. I just support
a
it.
trainer as well. So I was actually having a conversation with a client about this. Have you ever had someone walk in to work out with something that was inappropriate, wearing something that was inappropriate? If so, how did you address it?
I like this. I like this question.
And by inappropriate, I mean like not necessarily like
Right, like naked.
it doesn't fit or
Yeah,
naked, but you know, maybe
Yeah.
that client has big boobs and like, yo, if we do one jumping jack, this is
That
gonna
ain't
happen,
gonna stay in
right?
there.
Yeah, it's not gonna stay where it's supposed to be, or the shorts
Yeah.
are too short. If we bend over or squat, like this is gonna be a distraction.
I think
Have you either of you ever experienced
you
that?
go.
Well, I think
She's like,
I
you
have-
go.
I have a
Sounds like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
you go.
Put me on the spot first.
She hasn't had a chance to speak yet.
No.
So.
Okay, well, thank you. Now I feel like I have my time.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
kidding.
what's up, Kenzie?
So I think inappropriate, like I would define inappropriate in fitness is like what can you move in, you know?
Mhm.
And so I've had people show up in jeans and I've had to let them know, hey, next time put on something more comfortable so that
These
you
are
can.
these are my flexible jeans.
But
No?
they weren't skinny jeans. They were like straight up like
Straight up
Levi's.
jeans, like Levi's.
These are my jeans by Rogue.
Right.
So I've had like stuff like that happen. However, our studio's in Franklin, and Franklin is a very
Soccer
suburby
moms, yeah.
suburb. So I
Suburban
mean, we got
suburb,
the Range Rover driving moms.
yeah. Where
at
are
our
you?
place,
Where are
but
you in Franklin?
We're located
to
off
come train there.
Carruthers.
Off
Yes, you
Carruthers?
do. Hey,
Okay.
great clients. Off Carruthers, yeah. So right off the Moores Lane exit.
Okay. Yeah, I know
Exit.
exactly.
Right
where you
on.
are.
That's a great spot.
I live in
it's great.
Franklin,
Yeah.
so that's what
Really?
I was asking.
Me too.
Yeah.
Where?
Well, we're
Tell
not.
us your address.
We're not going to say it on the mic. We'll talk after, Kenzie. I'm not having people coming up to my house.
I
You
might
know.
send my parents.
All
to live
right.
in Franklin.
Oh, yeah,
What about
come
you?
on.
I agree with that. I think that's a great point. And I was thinking actually more along the lines of like staff, because I've been the staff at
Mhm.
gyms, and I won't forget a meeting one time among the staff at a gym where the boss was like, hey, you guys need to show up looking like you want to be here. And like, we were like, what do you mean by that? He was like, I'm not calling anybody out, but like, don't show up like you're homeless. Like you just rolled out of bed, you know, like show up looking like a trainer. Like, and so that's kind of where my mind went when you asked that question, because I've seen trainers looking more inappropriate most of the time than like clients or like gym goers. So yeah, or like wearing something that's going to distract someone. That like, I think it's a great point you made about like, what can you move in? Like you can move in baggy sweatpants, like whatever you want to wear. Like the client should be able to wear baggy sweatpants. I feel like the trainer, like, you know, if it's that LA baggy look, like, okay, whatever, like, but look like you want to be there, look like a professional. Whatever that looks like to you is up to you. But you know, like holes in your pants probably ain't a very good thing. But yeah, like if you're a client wearing like a Halloween costume on Halloween, cool. Like it's Halloween. That's fun. If you're wearing it all year round, or you're wearing like PJs to the gym, like it's the same way I feel about people wearing PJs in public, like anywhere, like even at airports. I feel like that's just weird, but that's a personal opinion, you know, like at the end of the day, it still stands. You know, if you're comfortable in it and you can move in it, then I think it deems appropriate. But if it's like, I think you made a good point about the Tata thing. Like, it's not like it is distracting. And as your coach, like if that pops out, like that's all I'm thinking about is it going to pop out? Like, you know,
me too, Sam.
Like,
me too.
Right. So
he's got a wife to come home to.
I don't know. Yeah. It's just everybody's there for their own reasons. So like have that in mind when you're getting dressed to go to the gym. Like other people are there trying to get their workout in, and you are there to get your workout in. So what is most appropriate to work out in?
Yeah. Well, I feel like we're already in the midst of a debate, so we might as well go ahead and jump into the basket of debate. Kenzie, brought to you by I almost said Frenchie, but it's Freshie. It's Freshie hard tequila seltzer. It's delicious and fresh. All right, check it out, Kenzie. This is what we got. We have a basket. We're all going to pick a piece of paper, whatever piece of paper you want.
All right.
And we are going to read them aloud and debate whatever is on that piece of paper. All right. I don't know if you know it or not, but the basket of debate is pretty popular. It's pretty famous. Ooh. It's like a thing.
It was on the news.
It had its own segment
on the news.
On the news.
We should name the basket.
It's called the basket of debate. All right, because you're our guest, you're gonna read yours first, and we're gonna start.
Basket.
So I don't know the context of this one, but saucer or toboggan?
What?
Saucer? What's a saucer? Like a dish?
Like a.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know what you mean. Those little like circle disc things that you slid on, or like
like just when you're like
in Tennessee, neither, because none work. But
why do I think a toboggan you wear?
I thought a toboggan you wear too. That's why I have no clue. Like this is
so. I think the debate is just truly actually the terminology of what we're
Thank you.
What we're reading.
I thought a saucer was a dish.
Yeah, well, I'm like saucer or hat.
Yeah, like, I was like,
you want a dish or a hat?
Yeah.
So let's just go. I like toboggan. I think it sounds cool, and I like that you can wear it.
I like your style.
I'm with you. I'm gonna go with Kenzie because I know zero about sledding, or saucers, right? Like, unless I'm having like wine and cheese or something. That's probably the only time I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want to go next, or you want me to go?
You go.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This one is okay. So natty or not, Kenzie, is like if you think this person like body is natural or not. Okay. Right? Like some enhancements, some steroids, right. BBL.
I hope I know the person.
Whatever.
I have a
I'm like very
cultured. So natty or not is Chris Hemsworth. Do you guys know who Chris Hemsworth is?
Natty.
Gotta be.
He has. You're smiling too big.
Maybe like legal.
I'm really bad at this, so I just kind of guess.
You're smiling really big right now.
What does that mean?
Something you want to tell me?
What would I have to tell you?
Is he like your hall pass?
Hey,
listen, if Allie messes up.
Actually, like, I just think he's like not like as built as like I would assume if he was not natty.
Not natty?
I've seen guys his size that I know are natties.
Have you watched his show?
Which show?
He like has that wilderness show in which he like does all these crazy
I
things?
haven't. No, I've watched
Everything
both
he does is
Distractions.
very natural in
Yeah.
the sense that he wants to actually be a healthy
Do it.
man.
Yeah.
So I would
Say Natty.
say that knowing him personally,
You know him
after
personally?
watching
Oh,
his-
okay. I was like, okay, wow. I was like, call him, man. Let's ask him.
After watching his
FaceTime him
show.
real quick. Let's ask him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you guys. I think he's natty as well. I also love what he does in the fitness space. I know he has a workout app as well.
Mhm.
And like I love the extraction movies. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but I love like action movies, like army rescue type stuff. And he looks very like he really trained to learn how to do these things, right?
Yeah.
So personal opinion, I think he's natty. I think that's the
Go,
first.
Chris.
It's pretty unanimous.
Now, Chris, if we don't, if we find out different, right? We're putting
We're putting it out there.
putting our names on
Spilling.
the line for you, Chris. Don't disappoint us.
Or you can come talk about it with us on the podcast.
That would be
right
great.
here in
If-
Nashville,
if you
Tennessee.
just happen to be
National
listening,
Fit
you
Magazine
know.
podcast.
Yeah.
Invites Chris Hemsworth to be a guest. All right. Last one. Hat or earmuffs? Obviously, hat.
Hat. Unless they're the Air
Unless they're really
Maxes
cute.
from, the. I'm like, those are $300 headphones.
God,
Those are basically earmuffs.
In the cold?
I can imagine.
Have you tried them on?
No.
They warm them up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They warmed them
The
up.
ears are nice and warm with those
I
things.
just
I
want to
don't
go try
like-
them on.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hat because I don't like my ears covered.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a security thing. I feel like somebody's gonna sneak up on me. Like I get
I
even
get
like
that.
okay, earbuds are over ear when you work out.
Oh, I don't wear any because I can't
I don't
afford
either.
them.
You don't wear any. You just work out in the silent.
A lot of the time I work out with whatever's on. And
Right.
sometimes
Okay.
I intentionally work out with silence.
Sheesh, could never.
I know it's hard.
I had a friend who just ran the half marathon with no music. Like he
That
was
is
just
hard.
simply running it for the crowd, like to hear.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Is
I
he a
know.
little?
We did
little
ask.
bit? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
asked.
Probably like most
We
people
asked
that
some
just
questions.
like it's this guy that like runs in front of my client's house and he runs like this like loop like just constantly. He doesn't have anything on. He's running for like an hour, no headphones. He's just like if I hear myself breathing, I'm like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah,
like,
I need
know
some
it.
music.
Like yeah, like it's horrible. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into you, Kenzie. First of all, you just recently married.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that going?
Awesome, incredible.
Is it,
Any adjective for the two?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Where'd you guys
Um,
meet?
Where did we
Fitness?
meet?
Did you meet in fitness?
No,
or
we didn't actually. Some friends set us up.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Love
which is
that.
like the
Like a
best way to
blind
meet
date?
That's
someone.
the best. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. We they've been trying to set us up for multiple people have been trying to set us up for a couple years. Multiple people.
Okay.
And then finally got to the neither of us were ready at the times that they were trying to set us up.
Like, yeah, nah, I don't really
Yeah.
like them.
I was
Not my thing.
Just not
No.
ready for the relationship. Yeah.
it was either like he was ready, I was ready,
Yeah.
he wasn't. And then also I knew nothing about him. And then the friends that actually wanted to set us up, I was like, oh, I really trust y'all's discernment. And so, yeah, met him. We actually met at Push and Daisies, which is like
Yeah.
literally the
Yeah,
one
it is.
place I would say I would never meet someone would be
Yeah.
at a bar on Broadway.
Yeah.
But that's where we met up for the first time with a
Yeah.
group of friends. And then, yeah, we went on a date shortly after and then
Cool.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
marriage.
The rest
Heck
is
yeah.
history.
And then we
What-
got married.
Yeah, and then we got
And then we got married.
Guys, it can't-
Met and
it
got
can't-
married.
it can't
That's our
work.
story.
What will be your marriage advice right now?
I would say I feel like there's so many things. Well, it's pretty new. And so I
Right.
feel like a lot of it is just figuring out like how to serve one another well. The biggest piece of advice somebody gave us, which I like think is just great in all areas of life, is that they said like when you're viewing your significant other as like the king or queen that they are,
Mhm.
then you're expected to do everything yourself. And then vice versa, if they are expecting to like serve me as the king or queen,
Yeah.
that I am.
Mhm.
You know,
Then
we're
they're-
inclusive here. It's okay. If you want to be a king, you can be a king.
I'm a queen. I'm a queen. And they, he is coming into our relationship doing everything himself. So when we come home and someone else has done the dishes or done the laundry or written a note, like that was not expected
Mhm.
because we were expecting ourselves to do it ourselves.
Mhm.
So it's just a blessing. So learning how to serve each other, learning how to bless each other, and then just having fun.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Love
It's
it.
funny you mentioned the king and queen thing because Allie and I have had that conversation. And
How does that work?
I was like, I want to be a queen and I don't mind being a queen. And she's like, okay, good. Cause I want to be the king.
Cool.
Kings
That's
have more power.
hilarious.
I was like, you're not wrong. She's like, yeah, kings kill the queen. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not what I signed up for. That's not the kind of queen I'm thinking about. Cause I think queens are, you know, just as powerful, but
Well, Queen Elizabeth.
she got really literal with it.
was like,
I
nah.
want to be the king because they always live. And then they die of natural causes and not, you know, locked away in a tower because she, you know, brought up like, you know, like the 14th century.
Like medieval.
Yeah.
I like how my marriage advice turned into talking about medieval like
You
deaths.
know how life has progressed since then,
She's
right?
a realist.
Like she's like, well, cool. If you can have a boy, then I'll kill you. Like that's fine. I'm like, what? No, that's not what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be
if I
my
don't
marriage advice.
Show up one day.
Right.
Someone's
Sally.
I'm in a tower.
I'm in a tower somewhere.
That's hilarious.
Letting my hair down. Okay.
Kenzie, let's get into the business.
Yeah.
So I stalked you on Instagram for a little bit, and clearly I didn't do a good job. I'm not a great job at stalking because I thought True Form was a Pilates studio. Clearly,
Common
it's not.
misconception.
How would you define what True Form Fitness is?
Yeah. So True Form Fitness is a Legree fitness studio. Are you aware of Legree or what
I'm
that
aware,
is?
but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I just know it's been a big craze.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
tell me about it.
So Sebastian Legree, he founded the Legree method after he was a bodybuilder and was looking for something more low impact that he could do. And he agreed with a lot of what Joseph Pilates had done, who started the Pilates method.
Yeah, we've actually learned about that.
Yeah.
The Pilates instructors have come.
Yeah. So he loved aspects of Pilates. He also loved aspects of bodybuilding, and he was trying to find a low impact way to do kind of both together. And have you all taken a Pilates class before? Like a reformer class?
We've taken many recently.
It's great. Yeah. It's a great way to work out muscles, but there's not as much muscle tension. There's not that resistance. There's resistance, but there's not.
It's not coming from.
There's not anything.
external
Yeah. There's not
factors,
anything
right?
that could really mimic like a squat or a bicep curl in a way that's really getting you into that like muscle fatigue. And so what Sebastian did was he went and formulated his own method with his own machines. And so years ago, he started the Megaformer. Since then, you probably heard of Body Rock or Solid Core or any of those forms of method. They actually broke off of what Sebastian did and took his machine and made their own, just as, you know, to make some more money.
Sure.
And so Legree is the original form of this workout.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So Nashville specifically has been served with the Legree method since 2008, but it's been this huge fad on TikTok and Instagram, and Body Rock's come to Nashville and Solid Core's come to Nashville, and people don't really realize that we've actually had this exact same form of fitness in Franklin in Nashville since 2008, in Franklin since 2012. So that's the method. It's low impact, it's high intensity. So we work with a lot of older clients because a lot of them come to us either after an injury or something, and they're able to it's not rehab. I would never tell somebody coming off an injury to come and take our class first. Sure. But you know, Sebastian would say it's low impact CrossFit. I would say it's really, really, really low impact CrossFit. And so you're getting.
I feel like a lot of CrossFit should be low impact CrossFit.
Yes. Yes, 100%. And so it's just a really great form of fitness for those that are wanting to, you know, gain muscle. I'm somebody that I love weightlifting. I think that's amazing, but I also think it's really important to lengthen and lean out your muscles in the same way.
Yeah.
And so you're doing that here where you're activating the slow twitch muscle fiber. So in all of our, you know, primary forms of fitness, you're getting the fast twitch. This is slow twitch muscle fiber. And so you're getting that really, really tiny muscle fiber, allowing it to shake, burn, damaging the muscle fiber, and then obviously recovering it after you're done with your workout. And so the stars out in LA are kind of the first to like hop on the trend because it's such an intense workout. Like if y'all were to come and take, it's really intense. It's really hard. It's really tough, but these people don't feel like they're bulking or that they're, you know, gaining so much muscle that they can't lean it out. So that's kind of how the method was first formed. And so we are branded as a Legree fitness studio, but lately we're just True Form. So people come to True Form and they're like, what is this? And we're like, well, it's the Legree method, but lately we've just kind of been becoming known as that, like, how Body Rock and how, all of
going
those.
back to how you described what the Legree method is.
Yeah.
When Solid Core and Body Rock have kind of branched out and made their own like reformers based off of the format, calling it True Form makes sense.
Yeah. And
It's
the goal
true
would
form
be
of the Legree method.
Oh, I like that. I might have to use that
I
one.
thought that's what you guys were already using.
No,
that's brilliant.
But I am now going to continue saying that. We are the true form of the method.
Don't worry, I will be saying it from now on. Yeah.
No, but I mean, I love and respect any form of this
Of course,
I can't say that. Methodology. And I love that more stuff is coming to Nashville just because I think eyes are opening to the importance of working out your body in this way. So
I think so too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that's really cool. And I think that applies to also other things that you're talking about there. Like as far as like how to strength train, like there's more than dumbbells, there's more than barbells, there's more than like external resistance. Like I try to, I love weights and I train my clients using kettlebells, barbells, dumbbells. But then we get into like body weight stuff and like mobility stuff. And I try to emphasize, these things are what make those other things even better. So like if you have like multiple ways that you're looking at it and you're not locked into one perspective, I'm not saying like go do everything all the time because that can be overwhelming. But, if you have like, if you're open-minded about fitness and about the millions of ways that you can get fit, like think about what you want, what you need. And then like you have all of these options, like it's not like, oh, Body Rock is not the original way, like only our way is the true form way, and it's like, well, yes and no. Like one of those ways is going to be effective for someone.
Yeah.
One of those ways is going to be effective for another person.
Inconvenient.
Could be effective both for one person, but like both can exist. Both can coexist. Just like different types of training your muscles can coexist.
Oh yeah. And we tell people, we're like, if you like to get into that realm, it's the same thing as people are going to love F45. People are going to love TrueMav. Are you doing very similar things? 100%. And you kind of find your place in in those studios. So we are just, to come back to what you were saying, though, I'm technically not the original owner of our studio. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with the name Studio Novo, but Studio Novo Nashville was the original Legree. So Jen Spice actually came from
Jen is good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
So they started as Studio Novo, and I was working there all through college and got asked to take over the Franklin version of their studio. So they had Nashville and Franklin. So I just took over ownership of the Studio Novo Franklin version and then rebranded to True Form within 6 months of ownership.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you rebranded it.
Yes.
What
That's
made you
awesome.
want to rebrand?
I think that to separate myself, I think it was getting a little bit confusing because it was two completely separate owners, two completely separate, profits at the end of the day. And for the longest time, from 2008 to 2022, people could have memberships at two different places, like same membership could use. So we were just getting into tricky stuff there. And then we are across the street from a hair salon called Studio Gavin. So a lot of people thought we were, a little Studio Gavin plug. But so people often thought we were a hair salon. Gotcha. So we also wanted to put Legree in the name, and then just something that was a little bit more vibrant and something that also set us apart and got more traction.
Yeah. I'm curious to how you actually got into this form of working out.
Yeah. I was a dancer. So I danced all through high school. I'm from here. So I danced in Franklin. Really?
Nice.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to BGA actually for middle school, but then for high school, did a complete 360, went to Nashville School of the Arts.
Oh, so cool. What year did you graduate?
2011.
Okay. I went to Grace Christian Academy.
Okay, yeah. GCA.
And then Grace Christian until my senior year, and then I graduated from Brentwood Academy.
Okay, BA, so not Brentwood High School.
Yes,
gotcha.
The academies.
Okay, cool.
We're private school girls over here.
Yeah. For a hot second, I didn't really fit in there. But
NSA.
NSA isn't private school.
It isn't?
Magnet school.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's National School of the Arts,
right? What is right by? Wait,
like,
what is?
"You
I'm
sure?"
thinking of what is
There's
like.
what is it?
What is right next to
Cume Fog.
Satco?
That's
What
oh,
school is that?
Nashville.
Is it?
It's a private school.
Oh,
But
okay.
what is it called? Oh,
Is
I know
it Nashville
it.
something?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I was like, wow, private school, but
Oh
no.
my God, it's gonna kill me because it's right in there with Vanderbilt, Nashville something. Oh my God,
you
someone's
mean
probably
NSN?
listening right now. Like,
NSN.
Innocent?
that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What does it stand for? Nashville School of.
I'm not
I
from
don't think
here.
it's Nashville School.
USN. No.
US it is USN. It's University School of Nashville.
Yes,
it's
USN.
owned by Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Vanderbilt's private school.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Anyways,
Yeah, I did
lower
not go
level
there.
school. USN, not NSN.
side note, yes,
Yeah.
I'm from here, and so I danced all through high school. I did D1 dance at Ole Miss, and so I was a rebelette
Nice.
there. And I had like an ongoing stress fracture my senior year of high school. If you've ever like watched Dance Moms, like we bend ourselves in half.
Mhm.
And so there was just lots of tension in my lower back. Got to my freshman year of college, and in order to be a D1 sport, we had to weight lift. And homegirl had never lifted weights in her life. So I just exacerbated my already there injury through bad form.
It's one of my biggest problems with like collegiate sports conditioning, like strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like.
Oh, they were like, do a squat. And I literally I would have
that.
actually screamed out loud if I saw myself do it.
Well, then later in life, you come and get me as a personal trainer, and you're like, "This is what I know," and I'm like, "Well, we're gonna unlearn a lot of things."
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not everybody.
Yeah. So I come home, I transferred colleges my sophomore year. I went to Belmont. And while I was there, I found Studio Novo. I had actually, a mutual friend of Jen and I's, she was a trainer at Studio Novo, and I had known that it was low impact. So I was like, oh, I know I need something low impact. Started working out in the Nashville studio, was there for a year as just a client, and then knew I wanted to do something in college and work. And so went and got trained after COVID kind of subsided, because you get trained out in LA. So I went out there, got my training in April of 2021. And then I was teaching for a year at the studio, and then ultimately took over. So I haven't really been doing it for that long. I've been doing it as long as any young girl had
Did you
been
know
working out.
Was that always the plan? And was
No,
it just like a light
absolutely
bulb one
not.
day said, you know what? I should have my own.
I was literally at my psychology internship when Anna called me asking to take over.
Wow.
So I was in school to become a therapist. And
Wow.
I say this joke to everyone. Everyone's probably like, stop saying it. And I've said it on any podcast I've been on, but I always thought like being a therapist would allow me to like have room to talk a lot, because I love talking. And I had never been to therapy in my life. And in the past year, I've started going, and my girl does not speak at all. So I was like, praise the Lord. Like, he knew exactly what I needed, because I would have been in there like, and I would have had zero clients.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
Talk all day.
Imagine you go to
Literally.
therapy and your therapist is talking like, so what I think is, is you, and you're
Yes,
like,
I'll be in there and I'm like, tell me
"About
what
you,
to
so Let me tell
do.
you what's going on, okay? Like, now listen.
Literally. So anyways, I was in school for psychology, had gotten into my grad school program that I was wanting to get into. And then within the same 4 months, this opportunity presented itself.
It was meant to happen.
It was.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So where do you plan on taking it? Like, do you have any like future plans with it, or are you just
Yeah.
kind of feeling it out?
Yeah, we do. I am like such a dreamer when it comes to this. I think that we've seen Nashville grow exponentially, and we've also seen like the demographic and who loves this form of fitness just absolutely bust at the
Skyrocket.
seams.
Mhm.
And so, we're working on a second location, undisclosed on where that is yet, but we're working on bringing it down this way, just because we have so many individuals that drive from Nashville to our Franklin studio. And so we want to make it more convenient for them. And then also just our studio as a whole is way less focused on fitness than it is community. So we're a huge proponent of community and bringing people together, especially because it's such a melting pot of people that are moving here, especially young girls, just really trying to give them a place to work out, but then B, also meet people. And so we think that our mission for our studio would be really, really important here in Nashville. So we're moving it down here, working on a second studio, hopefully more as the years go on. And so, yeah, lots of dreams for it, as well as other things.
So I'm gonna ask you. I'm sure you've had some experience in this, and I'll kind of give you a backstory. My wife she works in corporate America, but she was able to move up pretty quickly throughout the corporate ladder, kind of like
Yeah.
yourself. So very early on, she was like young and in leadership positions. And so when people would come in and say, hey, I want to talk to the manager, and then this very young looking girl walks to the front, they're like, no, the real manager. She's like, well, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, well, I want to talk to the other lady who's older. She's like, well, she's got to come talk to me anyway. So whatever you guys talk about, do you get, and I said to ask, like, with you being so young and being in a leadership ownership position, do you ever get into those kind of situations to where like, I want to speak? Well, I want to speak to the owner. You're like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's like, no, not you. Talk. Where's your mom? Like,
literally.
like, no, this is me.
Like a pushback for being the age you are and like the gender you are.
Yeah. Well, I was 21 when I got into this. And so when I stepped into ownership, I was the youngest at the studio that I was working at, and honestly, one of the youngest clients that we had at the studio. And so I actually, before I came here, was meeting with a friend who's looking into a similar story as I and buying into a studio, and was asking me like, have you had to fire anyone, or have you had to have these hard conversations? And I've been gifted with such incredible instructors. So no to the first one, but it was such a shift in establishing myself. But I think it was hard for me because I literally went from being a senior in college to owning a fitness studio all within the same, like literally 6 weeks. And so I didn't really know who I was when it came to like a leader. So something that I led with right off the bat was I've always been the one to ask, hey, you know, what do you desire from this conversation? Like, what is your end goal here? Are you trying to, you know, whether it's a client with, you know, what they are wanting out of the studio, or whether it's instructor with, you know, their end goal and how they want to, you know, have X amount of class times, whatever it is. I usually have gone in, especially in the first year, of like, what are you desiring out of this conversation? I'm going to let you know like where I stand with it and where can we find a mutual agreement. Just because I think if I were to come in, everyone knows what it's like to have someone young and naive tell them what to do. And I never wanted to be that because I really don't know a lot and I'm learning a lot. And I'm thankful for a lot of my mentors that have been leading me. But in those initial moments of leadership, I had to
mentors. Side note, that's in and of itself like a big.
Oh, it's a huge piece of the puzzle. Yeah. And so the first couple months, first really year, was me kind of leading with humility, not even to say that in like a prideful way, but like actually just having to be like, I do not know. I've never had this conversation before. I've never had somebody come to me this before. I want us to both leave feeling like we grew from this. So I want to preface with that because my first year was that. But also that mixed with like a ton of pushback, just in the sense of, I think if we were to get really into it, I struggled a lot within the first year of just like the idea of what other people just came into a conversation with me already thinking. So I had to really push against this understanding of, hey, this person's talking to me right now and they probably are looking at me like, you look like you're 12, you don't know what you're talking about. And so I had this load of insecurity just in a lot of my conversations, thinking that people were thinking something of me.
Right. I know how that feels.
You know what I mean? Like feeling like
exactly
you're.
Did you feel like you had to prove yourself?
It's
oh my
your
gosh.
Perception of yourself is being projected onto the people that you haven't even heard that from them.
Yeah.
But like,
and then it's also being validated because
that could be something that they're
Yes.
thinking.
Yes.
You can't let that thought in. You know, it's hard.
And that was the tension for me the past couple of years has been, I am already coming in with this understanding of what this person probably thinks of me. And then it's being validated again and again because I'm walking into business meetings and they're looking at me like, okay, where's your boss? Like, is he coming? And that genuinely, that has happened all the time. But within that, there's been so much strength that's been developed because it's really cool to also be able to look at someone like 3 times your age and be like, oh no, it's me. And then when they ask you the story, I'm able to like give a lot of glory to the Lord to just be able to share like, no, like I was placed in this position and it's an honor and this is where I can grow from it. But to your point of saying, you know, that insecurity and thinking that people are thinking that in the proving of yourself, that has been something I've worked through a lot in the past 6 months of like, who am I trying to prove what to? Like, ultimately speaking, this is not, this workout is not about me. This community is not about me. This business is not about me. It's about serving other people and serving the clients in the community here. So I'm not trying to prove anything to them. I'm trying to get them into this community so that they can then see what I'm trying to do.
And the more that you have that mission statement, the more that will prove it, because I feel like the people who are pushing back and
Mhm.
looking at you like, who are you? Where's your actual boss? Like, you can either listen to that and receive that and let it bring you down
Yeah.
and then go, oh, I have nothing. But then there's all this time that you've spent being humble and receiving help and getting information, asking mentors, asking questions, saying, I don't know the answer, but I'll find out for
Yeah.
you. And those people don't know that, first of all. Second of all, if they're like really concerned about like who's in charge and like how old they are and where they come from, and that it's like a lot of the time that's their insecurity coming at
Yeah.
you, because they're like, they want that, or you have something that they wish they had, or because you're in a leadership position really young. And, a lot of people have had missed opportunities because they just didn't take them themselves. And that's not your business, And so if they're coming at you like, you're not qualified to be in this position, or, like, I don't feel comfortable talking to you because you're not, like, okay, move on then. That's not my problem to deal with. I am here. This is what I'm doing. And that's all you got to focus on, because that proves itself over time. And like you said, like, I think it's really healthy and strong of you to be like, I don't have anything to prove to people. And I've had to revisit that in my head over and over again, just as a coach, because I'll get clients sometimes that look at me like, well, you really think you can help me? And I'm like, either you believe it or you don't, but like, it's gotten in my head sometimes, and I have to remind myself, it's, what you know. You've spent years learning this. You are passionate about this. You know that. So that's proven in your work with your clients. The rest does not matter.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard as a female, in leadership, especially in Nashville as it grows.
Yeah.
Because there's people coming who are already leaders. They're already starting businesses. They have the funds to be able to do that from nowhere. And then there's, the dynamic of men and women.
Yeah.
But like, if you're going into it with that attitude, I just think that's the best you can do. And that will prove itself over time.
Yeah.
The right things will be proven to the right people.
Yeah.
The rest will fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
They always do.
That's good.
Because they haven't made it and they're bitter about it. But
Yeah.
Tell me how you really feel, Sav.
I like it.
well, I mean, I've been there. I've been there. I've been jealous of people like younger than me, or like, have a position or something, or some kind of opportunity that I want. And I'm like, ugh, and I'll go in my head about like all the reasons that person doesn't deserve it without knowing them. That's when this is a me problem.
Yeah.
I need to come back and go, wait a minute. Like, what am I actually doing to receive opportunity? Do you actually want that opportunity? Like, don't shit on somebody else, like, for getting that, like, no matter where they're at in their life or where they're at in their career, how much experience they have, like, they have it. That's the reality. Either you support other women, especially, which is always what I want to be doing, is supporting other women in what they are doing, versus like, I don't want to create an enemy out of that person by like talking down, like, I know something better than you and blah, because I don't. We're all out here learning. We're all out here experiencing life one day at a time. Shit happens to everybody. So it's like, there's always something to learn from everyone. And I think the smartest person in the room is the person that's not like, walking into it thinking that they are the smartest person in the room. We're trying to prove that, because, every person's different and you have a lot to offer that I don't know about yet, so why would I assume that you're not qualified to lead, like, that's not fair. And that's my insecurity, if that's how I feel.
Well, while you're being insecure, we're gonna take a quick pause for the cause and allow Sav to get over this insecurity real quick.
Yeah,
and then when we come back, we're gonna hit you guys with a quick little what's it called?
Stretch your intellect,
Stretch
bro.
your intellect. Yeah, there you go. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. As you can see, I forgot what it was
Still
called.
insecure.
That didn't work. Longer break. So now we're gonna get into Trent. What are we
I'm
doing?
hearing some Queen over here.
Trent. Clearly, we're not
No
entertaining enough for Trent. He needs some background music. So we're gonna get into what we call Stretch Your Intellect.
I love it.
Okay, Stretch Your Intellect today is brought to you by Stretchzone and Nutrition Factory. Stretch Your Intellect, Kenzie, is just a segment where we just give you random facts.
Okay.
Okay, that's literally
Stretch
what,
me.
yeah, that's literally
Teach
what,
me.
that's literally what it's
Stretch your
going to be. Yeah.
Get ready.
So there's usually 2 of these.
Okay.
Sav's gonna go first.
Sure. Snowflakes.
Snowflake.
A poem.
Apo.
By me. Okay. Actually, it's by Terry. Snowflakes are not always perfectly symmetrical. That I knew.
Right.
While we often think of snowflakes as having a 6-fold radial symmetry, is that how we often think of them?
Right. It's like I've literally never thought of a snowflake that way. I'm gonna be honest with
Well, I'm going to break your 6-fold radial symmetry. They can actually have a wide variety of shapes and sizes. Each snowflake is unique and can have anywhere from 3 to hundreds of branches. That's pretty cool to think about.
That
The
is
hundreds
cool.
part, like I knew they were all different, but like it's a little tiny snowflake, hundreds of little spokes coming off of it.
you. Yeah, I don't.
Nature's cool, man.
Nature.
All right.
Yeah, nature is cool.
Jarrell's rolling his eyes.
I mean, it was random. Mine is also pretty random. But this is how I know like God knows there has to be a God because he knows where to place you in the world.
Okay.
Right. The coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth was negative 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ew.
Negative 89.2 degrees Celsius. This record breaker low was measured at the Soviet Union's Vostok station in Antarctica on July 21st, 1983.
Wow.
That's disgusting.
Forget that.
Ooh. It feels like that.
I wanted to say the other word, but I didn't want to get fined. So negative 120. What do you do in that kind of temperature?
You die.
You
die.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're definitely not exposed to that with your
Yeah.
skin, or your skin freezes.
Like 30 here.
Also, can we just acknowledge that the Russians are always the craziest people doing that? Like they're the ones that want to go to Antarctica and find that out.
Well, I feel like
Oh, were they a lot? Were they?
Somebody, they said there's a Soviet Union.
Was somebody
Soviet
there?
Union's,
Someone was there?
recorded
The
that.
station, yeah, the station. I don't know
Wow.
if maybe they were inside.
Leave
the
it to
heater,
the Russians
it's
to do all the
outside.
crazy things, because they're also the ones in kettlebell world with like Russian twists.
Yeah.
Those suck. Like
Those
that's not
suck.
kettlebell, but like Russian kettlebell swings, Russian
Right.
this, Russian step ups. Like
Well,
that's
I
what
think
the Russians, man. Chill
Well, I
out
think
over there.
they were honestly they were
Yeah.
the leader in like fitness for like we
mean-
stole a lot of stuff from them. Like
And we think we're
initially.
tough over here in 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Literally.
So when you think about like all the great thing about fitness, like we're not the smartest people because we just name it after whoever made it up.
Yeah.
Right. It's
The
like,
Legree
this is the
method.
Legree method. That's it. That's like, it's not anything like a Russian twist. So the Russians doing it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Bulgarian split squats. The Bulgarian will do it. So we're gonna like everything that we do in fitness
Turkish
is like
get-up.
right.
Yeah.
See, it's like we saw that's what like we're not the
We're
brightest.
American about it. We gotta
right?
name
We're
it
just
after
like-
the one
the
guy.
one
and give
guy.
him all the clout.
everything is named after somebody.
Jefferson
Everything-
curl,
right?
yeah, yep.
Everything that we do is named after.
Tape
Like,
press.
think about it, like right, like
Yates row.
like even you were like
Really,
you're like
though?
this is Legree method. Then like Joseph Pilates, is that Joseph?
Yeah.
Joseph. Like I didn't even know that was a person. I thought it was just a thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a form
Just
of
the name.
yeah. So like when you think
Oh,
about that,
is
it's
yoga
like, yeah.
named after someone?
I'm sure there's probably.
Bikram yoga is
Yeah, Bikram yoga. Yep.
yeah. He got into a lot of
Have
stuff.
you seen that documentary?
I have.
That thing
Have
is
you seen? Have you?
wild.
No. To watch
Wild.
it, like he was.
It's like
It's like a cult, bro. Like it was, and he was like God in the cult. Like he would pull you
and
to the
he's
side.
this
and
like little crazy man.
Yeah.
He's not even like somebody you'd see on the street and be like, that guy is the god of fitness and yoga.
right,
Like-
yeah. Like did you guys had to go to like training, right?
Yeah.
Like so, like with Bikram yoga, they would have to do like these trainings where they would come and he'd be like, oh, she's really good. She's gonna come. I'm coming and give her a special session.
Touch
So
her
you're
all over.
thinking like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
Bikram wants. He thinks I'm good. And then he takes you through the special session, and then you realize no, he's
You've
trying
been
to
assaulted.
do
Wow.
something to you.
Yeah.
But people would do it because he had. So
Yeah,
they
it's the
said so
prestige.
they had this presence. He
Well,
had
that's a
this
cult.
whole-
Just so.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so people would do like I'm chosen. Like
Yeah.
oh,
Wow.
I'll give you your
People
own
who
studio.
were his victims opened Bikram Studios like their own because they believed in the method so much.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yet they were still assaulted and abused by this man. And like, the
Mm.
opinion you have about that is your own, but like wild documentary.
Yeah.
What is that called?
I don't remember.
I don't either, but it's
But
on Netflix.
yeah, it's on Netflix. Google
Wow.
it. Go watch it, guys.
But
But-
yeah, everything
Makes
is
sense.
named after
After
someone.
someone,
Yeah.
right? So now we need like a Kenzie form.
Yeah.
or some Stewart form. Well, it won't be
she's
Stewart
got-
anymore.
she's
So
got
it's not
True
Stewart.
Form,
So
that's
I
her own
do.
brand.
nah, but
the
it's
brand.
not her name though.
That's true.
I will
Like-
say it's weird to say my own name, but a friend and I have started doing like wellness days in which it's just Kenzie and Taylor wellness days. So
Hey, be confident in that, because
There you
I for a long time didn't think. I go by Sav a lot, and my name is Savannah. And calling my business Sav Fit, like I had people telling me, "Oh, don't call it your name because then it's going to be really hard to scale. You should call it something like True Form." And it's like
yeah.
I'm not against that, but like one mentor told me, "F that! Like
Yep.
your name, you should be proud of that, and like you have a
Yep.
following, you'll be fine. Like
Everything is named
name
after
it your
somebody.
name, be proud of it." And so
Yeah.
it is. It's
Where do
Sav
you-
Fit
Where do you grocery
LLC.
shop?
Where do I grocery shop?
Yeah.
Anywhere that's close.
Like
to
what's
me. I
a
hate grocery.
store?
Trader Joe's, probably. if
Trader
I can.
Joe's. What about you?
I would say, yeah, I'm a Sprouts girl.
Sprouts.
Or Whole
That's
Foods or
good.
Whole
Costco.
Foods or
I love
Costco.
Costco.
Well, my
Costco's
point was I was trying to get you saying neither one of you said it because you're both bougie and you go to the wrong grocery stores. But
Oh, the
Kroger,
Krogers.
Walmart, like those are all like people's names, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I changed my name on IG is because people would see me in person, wouldn't know my real name. They would call me by my IG name.
Mhm.
And so I was like, these people don't even know my name, right?
Yeah.
And so you're trying to build a brand. And so if you're trying to build a True Form brand, yes, but if you want people to know who Kenzie is, then you can't go by True Form on IG, right? So I think what you did was brilliant, so people would know
Thanks.
who you are, right?
Yeah.
Like
it
so when they
worked
see you,
out.
they say Sav. Oh,
Yeah.
that's Sav, right?
Yeah. I don't
Sav
have
the
any
Savage.
employees, but I'm good with that.
Yet, if you want, so
I mean, and if anyone wants to be a part of the Sav Fit LLC and be a trainer, hit me up.
I
Be down.
just hired my first assistant.
Good for you, Jarrell.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a game changer too.
I
man.
bet.
Yeah, he's amazing. No, he doesn't have my phone. That's why
amazing.
I don't answer your text, Terry, because didn't have an assistant. You guys didn't hear that, but yeah, Terry's upset with me because I don't text him back. But I always show up. I'm always here for him. Like he has trust issues. He needs confirmation. Like, hey, where are you right now?
I mean,
like,
yeah.
are you going? And I'm like, Terry, I'm gonna be there. I promise. I've never let you down, brother. I've never let him down. So we always like to wrap, Kenzie, with just one thing that you want to leave our listeners with.
Yeah.
After that one thing, make sure you plug everything that you want to plug that you have coming up here in 2024.
Oh yeah.
So let us know.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing would be, if you're not a part of a fitness community, you should probably dig into one, whether that's a personal trainer or a fitness studio, an online program in your house. I'm just the biggest proponent of, using your body and moving your body. And I would say selfishly, I would love for anybody to join True Form. Just, if you're looking for a community in which you want to just feel accepted, and our name comes from the mantra, be true, be formed. We want people to return to their truest form on this machine, coming in, not thinking about what they're wearing or what they look like or what the person next to them looks like. And more so just trying to find that inner self that, we all once were before the world told us who we were. And so I would highly recommend coming to True Form and enjoying the community there. And then, I think, again, if you're not moving your body, find a way to. But coming up in 2024, we have some fun wellness events that we're planning. So if you don't already follow True Form, it's at trueform.fitness on Instagram. And then you can follow me, Kenzie Wesp, WESP, on Instagram. And we're always posting fun stories and reels on what kind of we're doing. And then, if you have any, often I'll get people that'll message me after these podcasts and they're like, wait, this opportunity came and I really want to know more. So I would love for anyone to message me or follow me.
If you're opening a new location in Nashville soon,
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Trainers.
That's also a 2024.
Yeah.
The world of corporate America is tough. You never know what door could be closed in your face. But as of right now, we're looking at some really fun things that you should look out for in April. So,
all right.
Yeah.
April 2024. And they're going to be needing, I'm sure, trainers and, staff. So
100%.
if you are interested and you know about the Legree method, or you're interested in learning about the Legree method or coaching it, or, you're interested about being a member at that new location, definitely hit them up on socials, hit up Kenzie, check it out, because I love that concept. I just think the more options people have in Nashville, which it's a beautiful thing that it is growing in that way, the more that you are going to find something that works for you. And don't worry about what nobody
Yeah.
else is doing. Do what you need to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So many options.
Yeah.
It's the best thing about a city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Kenzie, for stopping
Yeah.
in and talking to us. I am the Jarrell Webb. I'm here with my girl.
Sav Fit, y'all.
Hey.
Savannah Hill. It's been good talking to you, Kenzie, today. It's been good catching up with you, Jarrell. And it's been good hanging out with the city of Nashville. And whoever's listening, y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.